This is the HydroBlu water jerry can. Unlike your typical average jerry can, this uses a pressurized system to be able to pump water out of the jerry can rather than have it pour out. First of all, let me go over some specifications with you guys. The size of this is 14 inches by 8 inches by 13 inches. The material is BPA-free plastic. It is about 4 pounds in weight, and the working temperature is 39 degrees to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The jerry can size is 15 liters or 4 gallons, and this jerry can is definitely very heavy duty. Now, there are a couple of things about this jerry can which make it stand out from other typical jerry cans. Now, first of all, as I mentioned before, this uses a pressurized system. So over here you have the handle, and the handle is plastic, very thick plastic with rubber coating around the handle part here, so that when you pump it, you can definitely have it fit in your palm as you pump. Now, as you can see, this is the part where you would fill the water, and it unscrews like so. And as you can see, this is the pumping mechanism to pressurize the jerry can inside. Comes with a robust, very strong handle. Over here you have the logo for HydroBlu, and inside it you have a little hole here so you can fill it with a spare filter. As for the spout, it comes with this spout which is a screw-on, and it comes with this rubber hose attachment. Initially when I got it and I unboxed it, it did not have this. It was just a spout right in front of the knob here. So now this is a knob which acts as an on-off. So of course, righty tighty, lefty loosey. You turn it to the right and it closes it, turn to the left and it opens the spout. When you initially get this, so when you initially receive this package, it comes like so, just this part right here. And this, as you can see, is the filter with the fiber. And this part over here was also detached. And this is the activated carbon module. So the hollow fiber module is able to remove 99.9999% of bacteria, giardia, E. coli, and etc. Working temperature is the same at 39 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and the life capacity of this is 10,000 gallons or every 2 years. Now, the filtration of this is 0.01 microns, and coming with that is this filter right here. And this is the activated carbon fiber module. And what this does is it absorbs water odor, color, chemicals, and heavy metals. The working temperature is the same at 39 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And the life capacity for this is actually 250 gallons or 6 to 8 months. So this is something that you would need to replace more frequently than the filter itself. So we'll install this back on here, screw this back on. And once that's all set, we put that back in. Now you want to make sure that this is screwed on as tight as possible, as well as this, to make sure that there is no air leakage, to make sure when you do pump it, it creates the pressure needed to push the water out of the top. Every time I've used it, and it's usually for a weekend, because when I go on trips, in overlanding adventures, it's usually for the weekend, 1 or 2 nights. I fill this up with 4 gallons and we always have plenty to spare. So by the time I get home, there's, I'd say, about 1 gallon or 2 left in here. The great thing about this jerry can is that when we take this on our overlanding trips, we can use it for a variety of uses. So one method, of course, is to filter the drinking water out of here. Second would be if we need to wash something like our hands or our feet or whatever it is. Another thing I really like about this design is that the spout is located at the highest point. Usually when you get a jerry can, it has to be at the lowest point because you want the gravity of the air to push down and for the water to be able to come out of the jerry can, which makes sense. But in this case, because it's pressurized, we don't need to have it at the bottom of the can. Now, there's a benefit to that, because if that's the case, you don't have to worry about having this elevated, which means you don't have to have it on a table, on your truck bed, or wherever you need to keep it high so that you can put a cup or whatever you need under it to have the water pour out into the cup or whatever you're going to fill with water. In this case, you can elevate it because of the pressurization, and you can even put this on the ground and still use the jerry can. So it's very useful in that sense. You don't have to have this set on any kind of a pedestal or a table to have efficient use of this jerry can. And also when I load it up, I do load this up into my truck bed, and I do go on very bumpy roads, and you can just tell by feeling this plastic that it's very robust, very thick and tough. I can kick it around, I can drop it, have it bump around in the back of the truck bed, and it still is able to hold its form really well. Another benefit I see to using this is that, usually when people go on trips, whether they go on car camping or overlanding trip, they bring a certain amount of water, whether it's in a gallon jug that they buy from the market, or they bring their own jerry cans and they fill it up to a certain amount. Now, the issue with that is if it doesn't have a filter, you're limited to the amount of water you have there. And if you go to a remote location and you run out of the water, then of course you got to drive back out into town to get it, or you got to use a smaller filter that you may have in your go bag or in your emergency kit. But in this case, if we are starting to run out of water, usually we're near a body of water. We don't have to drive far out. Unless we're in the desert or something, and just fill this up with that lake water or river water or stream water or whatever, and then just use the filter right away and just pump it up, and immediately it's ready to drink. So typically what we would do is if we're at home, we'll just like fill it with tap water or whatever, and then load it up to the car. If it's not full and we're driving somewhere and we need to fill it up before we get to a remote location, then we'll just drop by a store, buy a gallon of water and just fill it in. Or if we're just by a lake or by a body of water, we'll just fill it up over there and we can use it that way as well. So far I've used it on quite a few trips, and I haven't been really able to find any cons yet. Any maybe room for improvement would be, I would like to see one that has maybe more capacity, maybe 5 gallons. Also, I think some people might have an issue with the color. I know when some people like the very neutral colors, maybe like olive drab or earth tone or green, desert tan or whatever. And those kind of colors are usually what people try to use for their accessorizing their overland vehicle or whatnot. Or maybe for gas, it's red. And usually for water, you'll see a white type of can. This one has like a baby blue, light blue type of color. But I think, in my opinion, that's a good thing, because the blue definitely is a instant reminder that it's water and not gasoline or anything else. So I do have a separate jerry can for gas, and that is red. And I'd say the only other thing that I would say would be something you got to be careful about, and it's not just with this jerry can, it's usually with most water jerry cans or water containers, is when I go camping, I go year round, and you will go also camping or car camping in the winter time where there's snow and it's below freezing temperature. In that instance, I would be very careful with this for 2 reasons. One, I wouldn't want to have this out in the cold overnight. I would probably put it up in the cabin of the truck or somewhere where it would be relatively insulated, not to go to the freezing point. And second, you don't want to subject a water filter of any kind, whether it's for backpacking or for car camping, to be exposed to below freezing temperatures. So for example, when I go backpacking and I do bring a water filter, I will try to keep it as warm, or keep it from freezing as much as I can, because once the components inside a filter freeze, then a lot of things get damaged in that aspect, and that as a result. So that is something you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Aside from that, or you're definitely going to see this being used in a majority, if not all, of my car camping and overlanding adventures. This is where I will keep my drinking water and my cleaning water. Also, this is a very good way to save money as well, because a lot of times when people go car camping or whatever, they'll buy these gallon jugs of water from the store, whereas this, I could just fill it up with either tap water or the lake water or river water and just save money that way. So in the long run, over time, I'm definitely saving a ton of money. So aside from that, I'm definitely going to do a follow-up review probably a year from now or whenever from now, and let you guys know how it's been doing. But if there's anything else or an issue that arises, I will definitely keep you all updated and posted on that. But for right now, it's been good. I'm enjoying it. It's saved the trip to the water aisle in the store for us, and it's definitely made our car camping and overlanding trips a little more convenient as a result. I would definitely highly recommend it. I have not been paid to review this product, but I have been sent this for free to test and to review, and so far so good. But as you know, if you've been following my channel for a while, if there is anything that's detrimental to it, or if there's any issues, I will always bring it up. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I'll put a link to this product, the website, so you can check them out. I will also put a link to the Amazon if you're interested in getting it right away. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed this review. I want to thank you guys for joining again. Be safe, take care, and thanks for watching.